Hey everybody, it's me, Eric, and I just finished the retreat, the Wim Hof expedition here in Sweden, 2026. I had a great time. I'm with Alexander, and Alexander helped put this whole event on, and it's been heart opening, amazing. Everybody's really cool. It was challenging, but also they didn't push us too much. um, so, Alex, just some basic stuff. How long have you been doing ice therapy, and when did you want to start doing retreats, or how long have you been doing retreats?
Yeah, thanks, Eric. So I've been here in Sweden for 6 years. Been a Wim Hof method instructor for about the same time. And for me, it was really a really interesting opportunity to share something that I'm very passionate about in a way that helps people start unlocking or accelerating their own personal healing journeys. I came from the corporate world. I worked at HSBC, global bank, pretty dark. I suffered a lot, like many people are doing these days. And then I stumbled across the method, and then I discovered, well, actually, the best way to share it, because I live here in the north of Sweden, is to do retreats and travels. And I've been bringing people across the last 3-4 years and sharing it. And it's just amazing how doing things in real time, we're in this digital age where everyone's going Zoom meetings and that kind of thing, that actually to just take your time out and do something in the real world is really rewarding. So it was a dream that became a reality, and to see you live it was a real privilege.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, what I thought was really cool about this retreat is just the variety of people. There's atheists here. There's spiritual people here. There's people there's Christians here. There's Hindu people here. Do you think that doing breath work and ice baths will lead to a spiritual life eventually, or can someone do breathwork and ice bath and stay atheist? Like, do you think that this technique will open someone up psychically or spiritually?
So I think the beauty of the Wim Hof method is it can give something to everyone. So my personal view is that we live in 3 dimensions: mind, a body, and spirit. And the Wim Hof method can be accessing any of those 3. If you're just an athletic person and you want to enhance your health, performance, that type of thing, you can do it and continue to be an atheist. But if you're curious, you can't help ask, what is this? Because you do the breath work, or you go in the ice and you feel something more. You feel part of something bigger. People have profound experiences that they can't explain. So I think for many people, it's the first step, or like a validation that their intuition or their gut instinct that they felt is right. And then the method helps you start to play with it and take you further. So I think atheists may stay atheists, but if there is just that first shred of curiosity, it then opens a gateway, which it did for me. Like, I was a corporate guy, super heavy into technology. I didn't believe in religion. And now, 6 years later, I have more questions than answers. I have more fun than ever. I feel like I'm using my brain. I'm creating. I'm part of something bigger. And life is fun, even when it's not, if that makes sense.
Wow, of course.
Yeah.
So it's like the combination of intense breath work and ice baths sort of give us like a new lease on life, or allow us to have more fun, would you say?
Yeah.
Especially if you're depressed or something. It seems to bring people out of that anxiety and
It's
depression.
it's like an anchoring practice, right? But it's only a tool, right? And for me personally, it's so simple and so accessible. You can always come back to it, right? Because if you do, let's say, plant medicine, we were talking during this trip, some of your personal experiences with it, it can be quite extreme. But if you don't come back, you can't do this iterative process of growth. You grow, consolidate, then you have a stronger foundation. Then you can grow again and consolidate. And the Wim Hof breathing doesn't always have to be intense, right? But it's always a very controlled and predictable container So I think it's so valuable. And Wim, the genius of Wim is like a mixologist. He took different ingredients, like in a cocktail bar. He found the best, I don't know, let's say gin,
pranayama and Tai Chi
exactly,
and things
Tai
like
Chi.
that.
And then, going into the colder traditions of Scandinavian countries for centuries. And water as a cleansing medium is a spiritual thing. So he just brought that together in a way, and because he's so focused on the science, because so many people are in their mind, that's the only access point they have. If a white-coated guy doesn't say, I have 500 studies on 10,000 people that says this is good, they don't believe it. They don't have faith. So I think that's also the beauty of it.
So it's almost like, I think we know this, but it's sort of like Wim Hof is proving with science that yoga and Tai Chi have these amazing benefits for our immune system.
Indeed. But you have to reach a point, I feel, that becomes irrelevant, right? Because you feel it intuitively that it is true and right. And then you just go with it. And then you experience and observe. And then you reflect. So, the plan, do, review, the Wim Hof protocol, it's always in threes. 369 is the magic number thing. And it comes back to that. And, from the perspective of risk and benefit, it has a nice balance. And also, we are also in a world where the digital is trying to catalog and document the spiritual. There's all stories about the Second World War when they tried to break into Shangri-La. The Nazis went to the Himalayas and tried to break into the spiritual world.
Wow.
So there are various exercises trying to document everything, right? And sometimes the science goes a little bit too far because, once you document it, you limit. And actually the method is very limitless in its benefits, right? It gives you access to more. We're only supposedly 4% of our human potential. And the method maybe gives you access to the 5th%. 25% improvement on today, right? But if it starts you to get, to 5, 6, 7, and Wim talks about activating 100% of the brain, right? You can do that with LSD as well, right? But the breath is such a controlled and manageable, and you are in the driver's seat, whereas LSD is you're handing over. You're almost giving the car to the, like a Tesla self-driving car, right? So it's a very interesting space, and this week has proven again that you can take absolute novices. We had a woman, maybe she was 65 from Australia, never been in an ice bath, never done breath work, and then she came to Wim's retreat, did an ice bath in a lake, for 10 minutes, right? Of course, here we're playing with extremes, right? But we just dip our foot into the extreme, so it's done in a safe container. But, they all did it. And I don't think there was anyone here, except for maybe one or two troubled souls, who got a lot from the week, but it brought things out that they weren't ready to deal with, and their behaviors were perhaps not serving them. But everyone got something from it. And there are 200 people here. And I haven't spoken to a single individual who didn't find something that has taken them to a better place. And that, again, is what's so magical about, breath work of any type. Even the less, the more technical breath works like, box breathing or 4-7-8 breathing or Buteyko. There's not really a spiritual element to those, but it's mechanistic. It's like yoga versus Pilates, right? But what was amazing about Wim is that, Pilates is soulless yoga, right? It's amazing for the body, maybe a little bit for the mind, but it does nothing for the spirit. Whereas Wim, you can... you can play with all three if you want to.
Wim's it's like the method is non-dogmatic, but you can still be as spiritual as you want in this world with this technique.
Exactly. And I always say it's a gateway. It's the beginning of the journey. So many people start the method, they do their ice bathing, they do the Wim Hof breathing, and they stop there. And that's okay. But for many people, it's like, okay, don't take it the wrong way, like cannabis. It's a gateway drug, right? It's a gateway practice, but it's a gateway to good places, whereas, sometimes they argue cannabis is a gateway to less favorable places.
Well, my teacher always told me that, my breathwork teacher always told me that breathwork isn't spiritual itself, but it can lead you to spirituality.
It's how you access, right? It's almost like I also do Kundalini yoga and Kriyas, and one of the principles of it is there's complexity, so your mind has to focus, and therefore you can quiet the mind. It's also manipulation of the body and so forth, so it has like some bodily and energetic principles. But also the core principle that at least the guy I'm doing it with is he says just show up. So just live, just be, just do. And again, it's very similar with the method, right? And people get confused, like cold exposure can be an ice bath, but it doesn't have to be, right? It just has to be, it can be so figurative. So you can actually apply the ice bath protocol.
Like with a cold shower?
No, daily life. Like having that difficult conversation with your partner about needs that are not being met, or not accepting certain unacceptable behaviors in your workplace, right? That can be an ice bath, and you apply it the same way. You set the intention, you prepare, you check your environment, you go into it calmly and relaxed and focus, and then you have like a recovery period, which is the warm-up afterwards, which is sort of like, well, how did that conversation go, or how did that
So it's like if you can be cold during if you can be relaxed during an ice bath, then you can be relaxed during a stressful situation in your life, is kind of the idea.
Yeah, it's that metaphor for life.
Yeah.
And that's again why I like it, is because it's so applicable. Of course, one of the challenges of accessibility is that people don't want to do extreme stuff. Comfort. We've so atrophied in our capacity to like enjoy life that people are like, oh shit, no, why would I do that? That sounds hard. And I'm like, well, so you want to be? Have you ever seen WALL-E?
Yeah.
You want to be the blob on the chair that just floats around. At
with
the
your
end,
little iPad.
Exactly. And the end of that film, they're like, I really regret this.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Jeff Garland's great in that movie, by the way.
I
went to the chocolate
All right.
factory this morning, and I
Alex, thank you.
Oh yeah, Eric, this is really nice.
Yeah.
You see, this is the amazingness of this place, is there are so many nice people who have had such an amazing week.
thank you for bringing
Such
me
an
into
amazing
your
week.
hole.
Yes, this is Matthew.
This is Daniel.
And this is Daniel.
Hello
So,
again.
Hello.
It's been an
Yes.
incredible week. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
What a
Well, no,
beautiful
thank everyone,
ice
right?
hole.
I can take credit for the idea, but it is to
people
make
that make it
it
happen.
into the reality, it needs...
Alex, thank you. You did a really great job helping make this thing happen.
Thanks.
Yeah. Everybody was dope.
Yeah.
We had a blast.
Well,
so.
let's watch this space,
Yeah.
what comes after.
Yeah, totally.
Thanks.
God bless. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
We'll
guys.
see you later.